Paul Ferrone from the US may be the last trader of the month for 2010, but he is by no means the least. He sits at the very top of our performance charts with a monthly return of 652%. I got to meet him to find out how it's done. And here he is now. Well, congratulations to you. A fantastic achievement. Well done. Now, take me back to the beginning.
Okay.
When did you start trading in Forex and why did you get into it in the first place?
It was about 4 years ago, and somebody that used to trade equities with me at my company had gotten away from equities and got into Forex and showed me a little bit about it. And actually, I think he loaned me a book on it. And that was it. I just started reading and took it from there.
Now, something I want to pick up on is the currency pairs that you use.
Okay.
Because you use several.
Right.
And as you probably know, a lot of traders, they tend to just master the one or perhaps even two. But you use several. What ones do you use and why?
I stick to only the majors, but I mean really any combination. I will actually go into the commodity currencies as well. I know a lot of people will limit themselves to one or two, but I think you really will miss out on a lot of opportunity if you do that.
Almost 45% of your trades were done with the euro dollar.
Right.
Why was this?
That can change on any given month, but this month primarily, I think it really just comes down to what pair offered the most obvious formation. And for this month, it was definitely euro dollar.
Yeah, and it paid off.
It did.
Of course. So.
It did. It was the biggest of the month.
Yeah.
In a short period too. You know, sometimes just the month might be a little bit not offer so much clarity, and then all of a sudden 1 week comes around or 1 3-day period where it's really just a one-way street and there's nothing to do but just strictly focus on buying one thing. And that was the case definitely with the euro.
Let's talk about risk and losses.
Okay.
How do you manage yours? Do you have a certain percentage you put by per month that you don't dip into? How does it work with you?
Smaller account, it would be very aggressive. I mean, you're not going to have returns like the winners of this contest put up without risking anywhere from 5% per trade at least. But I think an ideal model for an actual manager running a couple $1 million might be, or anywhere upwards of, would be maybe 1% per trade, even less.
So you're having a bad day.
Right.
It's not going quite your way.
Right.
What do you do? Do you turn off the computer, go make yourself a cup of tea? How does it work?
Yeah, that would be the way to go about it.
Yeah.
But not always. You know, there are times where probably the worst days are days when there's nothing going on. Days when it's not even like you got caught on the wrong side and were wrong, because usually you can make that up by just doubling leverage and going with it. But if you have a day where there's nothing going on and it's choppy sideways, then you're gonna have many losers. You know. So the ultimate, I mean, I think the best way to go about it is to do, like you said, walk away for a while and come back. You know, whether or not we always do that, that's another story.
Now, you had some of your most successful trades with the dollar-yen.
Yes.
Can you talk me through your best trade here, please? What
Sure.
exactly was going through your mind at this time?
Okay. This is actually a 4-hour chart. And every indicator I use is going to apply to every time frame. But the daily was a major Fibonacci level. It retraced to a certain mark right around here, if you see where it bottomed out. And intraday, this was somewhere around 9 in the morning, the beginning of the New York session, where I got confirmation on plenty of activity here. EMA crossover, the 10, 20, and 30 all crossed over. Candles were favorable, every one of them. They looked very bullish. So it wasn't a huge trade, but it was very high probability, and the entry was right around here on the 14th, and it sold. I mean, we started to get a reversal within about a day, within about a 12-hour time frame, and the exit was in this neighborhood right here on the 16th and the 17th. So, you know, we didn't capture the entire thing. The entry wasn't here. It wasn't until after confirmation up here. And we only captured maybe about 40% of the move, but it was more than enough.
How do you keep your cool when it's going so well?
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's really just if the indicators tell you what to do. The tricky part is when, you know, being in New York on that time frame is a lot of the activity is over in the heart of your trading session here. So that's the gamble, is if you're going to carry it through the night. And that's the biggest decision. Every night at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you have to decide, and you have to sit there for half an hour and decide where your stop out levels are going to be, how big of a retracement you might get overnight. But really, the only time you need to worry about getting out is when the indicators go the other way. Right. And depending on when it began, you know, you usually have a pretty good idea of whether it'll happen during your session or during another. It comes down to the chart, really. It tells you what to do.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you could kindly put your hands together, and also he got engaged today as well, so it's extra celebration. Please put your hands together for Paul Ferrone.
Congratulations, Paul, for this wonderful performance. As you know, December was a very difficult month, and Paul managed to be the best. So we would like really to give you this wonderful watch, a Cartier watch. Congratulations and welcome to this fantastic club of the Trader of the Month.